Hey, what's going on, guys? Look, man, I'm just checking back in with you. I'm giving you part two on Carbs Give You Wings, okay? I just want to finish up the conversation, and I want to touch on some things in detail about what exactly it is that we're looking for when we're talking about getting our carbs in, what exactly I'm talking about when I say these are the carbs that we should be eating, these are the carbs that we shouldn't necessarily not be eating, but these are the ones that we should be careful with, and we should probably plan them a little bit better. If there's one thing that I'm going for in this video, and it does mean a lot to me, is you don't necessarily have to avoid foods. You just have to be more conscious of what you're using those foods for, when you're getting them, and what they're doing to you, okay? Now, if you've got some kind of ailment, if you are type 2 diabetic, if you do have problems with your blood sugar, there are different things that you can do with this. I can get more specific with you in detail in person. This video is more directed towards people who are in good condition, who don't have those kind of problems right now. But also it's gonna mitigate that, and it's also gonna stop people from getting that, especially children, man. There's a lot of children right now that are dealing with pre-diabetic symptoms. There's a lot of kids right now who are dealing with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. There's a lot of adults who are beginning to acquire diabetes as they get older because of some of the things that are on this list. And so what I'm gonna do today is kind of focus in on carbs, give you the meat and potatoes of what it is, and the potatoes especially, and help you guys out a little bit, all right? So take this trip with me, take this trip, all right? So cool, let's go recommended daily intake. We did the same thing for our protein video. All right, now, hear me out here. All right, here we go. You ready? 45 to 65% of your daily caloric intake should be carbs. 45 to 65%. Okay, so if you're doing 2,000 calories a day, which is, we've had this conversation too. We've had this conversation. If you're working out with me, if you're at Massive Performance, if you're at Club Massive, if you're shaking it up in there with the lights, that's low. That's low. We need to up that, but we need to up that number. We need to up it, in my opinion, minimum 3,000. But listen, that's 2 videos from now. We'll get there. Just take this trip with me, okay? Let me bring you back some. If you're doing 2,000 calories, you're operating on 2,000 calories a day. 45 to 65% of your daily caloric intake needs to come from carbohydrates. That's 900 to 1,300 calories a day from carbs. Okay, now think about that. Think about that. So you're talking, let's just spitball, let's just say 50%. 50%, half of what you're eating every day, calorically, needs to be carbohydrates. That sounds like a lot to people, and it is a lot. That's half of something that's on your plate right there. So let's talk about what that plate should look like, all right? Also, too, if we're gonna break that down into grams, we're talking 225 to 325 grams of carbs per day based on these numbers, okay? And if we need to go ahead and do a conversion, go back and look at the protein video, it's gonna show you how to break it down from body weight to grams to kilograms per body weight so you can get what you need, okay? If you guys need more details on that, just shoot me something in the DMs, shoot me something in the comments, and I'll get back to you, I promise, okay? Cool. All right, so something I've been sticking on lately, I need a new pen, I need a new marker. Got this marker thing going on, hold on. All up on my wife's desk, I got the orange marker, let's go. Look, boom, devil's in the details. Let's talk about the details. Let's get into the deets, right? All right, so the carbohydrates that I think we're all talking about when we say they're dangerous, that we need to watch out for them, all right? Those are gonna be your refined carbs, all right? Those are gonna be your refined carbohydrates, all right? And yes, I agree, you do need to be careful with your refined carbs, I agree. Just a couple of details about them so you can know what we're talking about, so you can know kind of, more intimate detail about what we're talking about when we say refined carbs. Number one, they do not exist in nature. Refined carbohydrates, you're not gonna walk outside right there and go pick up a refined carb, okay? I can't go outside and pick up a potato chip. You can go in my backyard and pick up a potato chip because my kids are dropping potato chips in my backyard, but they're not growing in nature. They're out there because my kids are dirty and they're dropping potato chips in my backyard. Bad parenting is what that's called. But look, they don't exist in nature, okay? Meaning, they are processed. We've all heard that before. Watch out for processed food. Watch out for processed food. Watch out for processed food. I tell you what, that's what they're talking about, okay? They also tend to spike your blood sugar a little bit, okay? Listen, they're gonna spike your blood sugar because they are empty. They are empty. They have been stripped of all the essential things that you guys are gonna need, unlike unrefined carbs. So unlike your broccoli, unlike your carrots, unlike your tomatoes, these right here are empty. So they're missing the fiber that you need that's going to go ahead and control that blood sugar for you a little bit, okay? So what that means is the more of these that you're eating, the hungrier you're going to be. Because they're going to digest quickly. You're going to eat them, they're going to get into your system, they're going to spike your blood sugar, you're going to be hungry again. Okay? Now, if you're an athlete, if you're playing sports, if you're a football guy, baseball guy, softball girl, field hockey, listen, there's a place in your life for some refined carbs, okay? And we're going to get into that because this can be weight gain. This can be muscle gain. This can be the difference in you coming in at 205 as opposed to 195. So, like I said, the devil's in the details. Different strokes for different folks, okay? Now, listen, this is the part I want to focus in on. We talked about ailments. So, listen, a diet that's really high in refined carbohydrates can lead to certain things that are really prevalent in our society right now. One of them being ADHD in children, type 2 diabetes in children and adults. Acne is a big issue that's going on right there. Also, sleeping disorders, mood swings, weight gain, refined carbs. I mean, if you're eating these in excess, if you're going over and beyond with your refined carbohydrates, this can be an issue. Man, if you're eating a bag of chips, and I'm talking like a small bag of chips, like, little fun-sized bag of chips a day or something like that with the sandwich. I'm not seeing that, but if you're the one that's sitting back and you're on the game or you're on the couch or you're surfing Facebook, you're on TikTok, blah, 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 and a bag of Oreos is gone, a bag of chips is gone, and that's something that you're doing regularly, then yeah, that could be an issue, okay? I just got into a couple, so I'm going to do some more examples of refined carbs and sugar. Listen, everybody's like, I don't drink soda. That's awesome. All your fruit juices, with the exception of lemon juice and lime juice, you're talking about refined, okay? So we're talking apple juice, we're talking orange juice, we're talking grapefruit juice. Like, the little, what's that? There's another one. Nobody likes cranberry juice. All right, keep it above 50. Nobody likes cranberry juice. All right? You're drinking cranberry juice at communion, you might drink it then, but you don't like it then either, all right? You do it because you got to. Nobody likes cranberry juice. If you do like cranberry juice, leave it in the comments so I can talk to you, because you probably like beets and liver and stuff like that too, and we probably aren't friends, so you're probably not going to comment anyway. Anyway, but look, instant refined grains. What are those? Oatmeal. This is that packaged oatmeal. So when you get those oatmeal packaged, not steel cut oats, and you know what? I haven't heard anybody say steel cut oats since like 2012. So I don't even know if people are still doing steel cut oats. Look, if you're doing steel cut oats, you are straight. You are good. But if you're doing instant oatmeal, if you're doing it out the packet, that's a refined grain. If you're doing white rice, that's a refined grain. I'm not saying don't eat those. That's not what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying is there is a time and there is a place to do these. And we're going to talk about that, okay? Now, here's the fun part. Here's the good part. Because this is the part that people always get to when they want to cut something or they want to say, hey, I'm going to cut this out completely. And I'm the person that's always sitting there like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to completely get rid of these things. You just got to eat them in portion. You got to eat them in moderation. You got to be smart about it. Use them for something, right? All right, so look, cookies, okay, we all know that. Pastas, listen, spaghetti noodles, fettuccine, the little rotini noodles. Yeah, look, if it's enriched, if it's bleached, it's refined. Ice cream. And I know some of y'all out here getting this protein ice cream. Number one, okay, what's the point of protein ice cream? Like, you're eating ice cream. Like, if I'm gonna sit down and eat ice cream, I just want ice cream, man. Like, I got protein, that's great. Put some fucking Butterfingers in mine, keep your protein. If I'm doing ice cream, I'm doing ice cream, okay? So just for the record, if you're doing ice cream and you invite me over, I don't need protein in my ice cream, okay? Thanks. Pastries, most cereals. So all my cereal heads, there's a lot of people who are still in their 30s like I am who are eating cereal, all right? My wife is one of them. And look, if you run into her, ask her about like right around when we started dating. And It was randomly one night, and she was eating a snack, and she went and got some cereal, and I looked at her like she was crazy. I was like, "You eat cereal? Like what 30-year-old is he?" And then she tore it up too, and she likes the nastiest cereal. Like she likes Smacks. Who eats Smacks? If you eat Honey Smacks, leave it in the comment. If you eat Honey Smacks, Cheerios, anything that's not Frosted Flakes or Captain Crunch, I would know because my household, that's what we ate. We had Captain Crunch and Frosted Flakes. And if Dad was feeling froggy, he might have got some Apple Jacks. Like we never had like the cool cereal. We had Cinnamon Toast Crunch once, maybe twice every 4 years. And randomly nobody got any because he had it all. So how'd that go? Anyway, getting back to it. Most of your rice cakes. So all you ladies out there who are like, oh, I had some rice cakes. They're really low in calories. That's cool. But they're doing a little something to your blood sugar. I'm not saying that's bad. It depends on what you're using it for. A lot of y'all are using it for the right reasons, so I don't have a problem with that, okay? Most of your milk substitutes, listen, most of your milk substitutes, almond milk, oat milk, whatever other kind of milk you guys are eating that's not like regular ass milk from a cow, what's it, coconut milk, I don't know, leaf milk, whatever milk that's not milk, there we go. It's refined, okay? We got some refined carbs in there. Listen, you see the high GI that I got right here? We're about to transition to that next, okay? Now look, I'll actually tie that in after we do this. So look, let's go to the glycemic index, okay? So you see high GI right here where I'm talking about most milk substitutes, okay? So when you talk about your glycemic index, the glycemic index is basically used to promote better blood sugar management, okay? So not necessarily that if you are diabetic, but if you're a person that's really paying attention to your blood sugar, because spikes in your blood sugar can lead to weight loss, and that's something that we're trying to do, especially with the challenge. We're trying to lose weight. You're not going to want your blood sugar to spike and go down, spike and plummet too much. You're going to want to stay consistent with that, okay? So you're going to want foods that are low or moderate on the glycemic index scale, okay? So on that scale, which is right here, which is 0 to 100, we're trying to monitor what our blood sugar is doing. So to be safe, we want to stay right here. So you got your low range, which is 55 or less. You got your medium range, which is 56 to 69. And then you got your high range, which is 70 and above. Now, don't think everything that's a fruit, it's got to be good. That's not giving you a high GI, okay? I'm telling you right now, if you eat watermelon's got a high glycemic index, okay? Watermelon can spike your blood sugar a little bit. Bananas, depending upon how ripe they are, can spike your blood sugar. There's been a lot of tests run on bananas, especially on diabetics, and it shows that over time it does raise their blood sugar. And that gets down to some of the factors that influence your glycemic index. So, nutrient composition. What's that food made of? Like, what is it? Is it really sweet? Is it not as sweet? The amount of processing it gets into. So, listen, the amount of processing, boom, right down here. Is it refined? Is it unrefined? And I'm letting you know right now, so you can just not have to guess about it. Most of your refined carbohydrates, most of your refined sugar is going to have a high glycemic index. Most of these foods are going to raise your blood sugar level, okay? Now, if you have some kind of ailment, if you're dealing with diabetes or something, that's not a good thing for you. You're going to want to monitor that. If you're not dealing with those types of things, that's okay. It's just going to be when we eat them, all right? Your cooking method. That's something I'm going to get into on a future video about how we're cooking our food, because how you're cooking your food is going to dictate a lot of what goes on with your GI and things like that as well too. And then, like I said, the ripeness of your fruit, okay? Now, glycemic index. Making sure that you manage that. Making sure that you're getting foods that are low or moderate on that list. What they can help enhance your weight loss. We want to focus on our low to medium range right here, okay? They can reduce your cholesterol and they can decrease your blood sugar levels, okay? So, when we're talking about foods that are low in the glycemic index, when we're talking about foods that are unrefined carbohydrates, okay? We're talking about vegetables, we're talking about broccoli, okay? We're talking about carrots, we're talking about cauliflower, we're talking about our whole grains, we're talking about oats, we're talking about barley, we're talking about buckwheat, we're talking about our beans, we're talking about our lentils, okay? Those are the things that we're talking about. So if you're talking about getting more carbs into your diet, but healthier carbs, those are the things that you want to go towards, okay? Now, and I have that listed right here. Now look, Remember the protein video that we did. Now let's just add this onto the protein video. Right here, okay? Foods that are high in fat, fiber, and protein, they digest slowly. So what does that mean? It means that they have a lower GI. All right, look at that. I got it circled. Take a look at that for a second. What that means is you're going to go in, right? So say you are doing a lunch and your lunch is chicken breast. You want to do a vegetable medley. So say you're doing broccoli, cauliflowers, and carrots, and maybe you want to do like a sweet potato, which is a complex carb, right? That sweet potato, which is a complex carb, that's going to be unrefined, okay? You're going to eat your vegetables; those are going to be unrefined, okay? You're going to eat your chicken; that's going to be a protein. It's going to have a low GI. That's not going to spike your blood sugar too much. You know what else you're going to get from that meal? You're going to get a shit ton of fiber. You're not actually going to get that much fat from that meal particularly, but you are going to get a good amount of protein with that chicken breast, 20 to 30 grams of protein. It's going to digest slowly. It's going to make you feel full. It's going to make you feel good. That's a quality meal, okay? Also, when it gets down here, it says foods with no carbs have no GI, so your meat, your fish, your poultry. So listen, protein, nuts in the right amount. Protein, okay? We'll get into our oils. But look, boom, boom, boom. So when we're making a staple of our diet, right? Unless you're vegan, unless you're vegetarian, we're talking about getting in our meats, our fish, and our poultry, okay? So meat, you're talking about your steak, okay? You're talking about your pork for people who do eat pork. If you don't, I get it. We don't talk about it anymore. Blah. Fish, salmon, tilapia, okay? Snapper, if you can find it around here, all right? Mahi, things like that. Tuna, your poultry, you're talking about your chicken, okay? Listen, you can do ground chicken. You can do regular chicken. We can do ground turkey. Look, we can do ground beef right here. All right, there's a lot of options. Your nuts, your almonds, your peanuts, you know, your Brazil nuts, things like that. All these foods right here that are not going to spike your blood sugar are staples of what we should be doing if we're trying to lower our body weight, if we're trying to burn fat, even if we're trying to put on some muscle. We need these foods in our diet. The carbs that we're going to add into it that aren't going to do that are going to be our fruits, our vegetables. I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to put it up here on the star statement on my board. I've been preaching this since I went through my vegan stage. It seemed like a lifetime ago. And if you look at the size of these shoulders, it was a lifetime ago. All right, look. 1 salad per day. Can you do that? Can you do 1 salad per day? Can you give me one? 1 salad per day. Romaine lettuce, spinach, peppers, onions, tomatoes, broccoli, cauliflower. Throw some carrots in that damn thing. Throw some tomatoes in that damn thing. Throw some Brussels sprouts in that thing. Look, if you don't want to cook them, I'm going to tell you something. Eat them raw. Eat them raw. Eat them raw, man. The amount of fiber, okay, that you're going to get from that meal, none of the stuff in there is going to spike your blood sugar, okay? You want to throw your protein in there, chop up a chicken breast, man, throw some salmon in there. Throw some tuna in there, all right? You feeling froggy? Put some steak in there. I'm a red meat guy. I'm putting steak in mine. That is an excellent meal. And now, don't be the person that, drowns it in like ranch dressing or something like that, all right? Don't do that. I'm not saying don't eat ranch. I'm not against that. Just don't drown it in there. You want a salad with ranch, not ranch with the salad, okay? Look, cheese people. I'm not a cheese person. We've been through this several times too. I'm not a cheese person. There's nothing wrong with sprinkling a little bit of cheese in there for all you cheese. I got a little cheese. Put some cheese in that damn thing. Don't drown it in cheese. Put a little cheese in there. Get some fat into your diet. Cheese got some protein in it too. 1 salad per day. If we're talking weight loss, we're talking about getting in a good amount of carbs, 45 to 65% of our daily caloric intake from unrefined whole food carbohydrates. Add a salad in per day. That salad can be snack 1, snack 2, snack 3. That salad could be ideal for meal 2 or meal 3 for some people, depending upon if we're working out or not, just as a way to get those in. And this can be a big salad too, because none of those foods that I named off in that salad are loaded with calories anyway. So if you want to have you a nice big salad and then make sure you get your protein option in there, that'll be perfect, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to finish up by saying this. If you're me, you're lifting a lot of weights. You lifting weights 3 times a week. That was my goal for the challenge, by the way, ladies. I'm killing it. I'm up to 3 or 4 times, so, go me. If you're playing sports, baseball, football, softball, you like pasta, you like potatoes, you like white rice, you like those things. Have those things. But hear me out on this, okay? And I know I don't have a lot of room on the board to show you this, so I'm just gonna talk to you about it. Say you're working out, say you're a morning person, so I have a 5 o'clock group and a 6 o'clock group, right? Okay, so you ladies come in, you guys work out early. When you finish, what's the question I always ask you guys? I go, hey man, what are you eating for breakfast? All right, if you're gonna do some refined carbohydrates after that workout is the perfect time. Why? Because your blood sugar levels are down, right? So you get done with that workout, scrambled eggs, turkey sausage, regular sausage, turkey bacon, regular bacon, hash browns, toast, bagels, and I don't know who eats pastries. Things like that after a workout in the morning are perfect for you. You're gonna get your calories in, you're gonna get your protein, you're gonna get your fat, you're gonna get your carbs. What that's gonna do, raise that blood sugar up a little bit, but you've got a lot of balancing stuff in there too. You've got your protein, you've got your fiber that's involved in there. So that fat and that fiber and that protein is gonna help digest slowly. So yeah, you got something that's refined in there, but you've also got these helpers in there too. Protein, fat, and carbs. It's a balanced meal. So you're doing okay. Now, you got that 5 o'clock, 6 a.m. workout, you're done with that, you get snack number one. Snack number one, we're not trying to get back up there, right? So snack number one, why not go protein shake and some fruit? Let's go protein shake, let's go strawberries and blueberries. What's wrong with that? Let's go, athlete, you're trying to put some weight on. Let's go 5 hard-boiled eggs, maybe a small protein shake, and let's throw in some blueberries and strawberries again. Why not? If you want to do watermelon, it's going to spike it a little bit, but you've got the protein to balance it out. You got the eggs, you got that to balance it out. So we're good there, right? All right. We're full. We've got our protein. We've got our carbs. Let's go to meal number 3. Let's go to meal number 2. In the middle of the day. You worked out in the morning. You've got that big protein, fat, carb meal there. You've got snack number 1. For this meal right here, depending upon what your goal is, if you're really trying to drop a substantial amount of weight, we can still do protein, fat, and carbs. But let's do our protein, fat, and carbs once again with a meat source. Let's do that, and that meat source is going to provide the fat and the protein, and we can do that with the veggies. We can do our salad during that time. If you're trying to put on some weight, if you're trying to add some muscle, there's nothing wrong with doing a big-ass bowl of, spaghetti during that time. There's nothing wrong with that. And let me tell you something. Say you do the spaghetti with ground beef. You got your spaghetti noodles that are going to be on there. That's got a high glycemic index. That's refined. So is that pasta sauce. Let's keep it real. That pasta sauce is going to spike it. Guys, ladies, let me tell you something. Ketchup, jelly, mustard, barbecue sauce, all those things are processed. All those things are going to raise your blood sugar level up too, okay? So when you go to McDonald's, you're worried about the damn bun. Cool. Should be worried about that ketchup and that mustard stuff too. Unless you're using it for different purposes. And if you are, that's fine. All right? Get your spaghetti in. Go to Chipotle. Get one of those bowls in. Get the white rice. Get the beans. Get the meat. Get the salsa. Get the guac. All those things are protein, fat, and carbs. Those are balanced meals, okay? You do not have to be afraid of refined carbs and sugar if you're going to balance that out with foods that are high in fat, fiber, and protein, okay? If you got to rewind that 45 times to hear me say that, if you're talking to somebody else, some trainer, some fucking fitness guru that's like, you should never eat those things, go listen to that person. But if you're coming to me and you want some real life advice, I will never tell you, don't eat these things. I will never say that. What I am going to tell you, if you're going to do this, there's always a way to balance. The universe likes to tip towards balance. I believe in balance. So did Yoda. You know how I feel about Yoda. Look, boom, there we go. What's wrong with that? Why can't you have spaghetti? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with pasta? What's wrong with having a bunch of white rice? Brown rice isn't a refined carb. What's wrong with having jasmine rice? Jasmine rice is a refined carb. What's wrong with having those things in your diet if you're also going to have protein, fat, and carbs with those, right? If you're going to eat a bag of chips every once in a while, there's nothing wrong with that, man. If you're going to eat ice cream late at night There's nothing wrong with that. This has been your diet all day long. You're having snack number 3. You eating ice cream at night. Is it going to raise your blood sugar level up? Yes, it is. Is that going to be the determining factor whether or not you lose 25 pounds or you gain 40 pounds? 9 times out of 10, probably not. Probably not, man. Let's keep it above 50. Probably not. All right? Bottom line, you have no reason at all to look at carbs negatively, to, for some reason, cut them completely out of your diet. You have no reason to do that. What you do need to understand is that there's a reason and a time for these things. I sent a bunch of y'all a video on Instagram the other day with one of the leading dietitians in the country right now, speaking on that point specifically. There's not a time in the day where you should just cut off carbs completely. Like, you should not eat carbs after 6 p.m. You should not eat carbs after 8 p.m. What you need to do is understand which carbohydrates are doing what for you. If you're in the gym right now, I'm asking you to walk for 45 minutes, three days a week. If I'm asking you to run sprints like we did the other day, by the way, Kim, you killed that shit. I'm proud of you, woman. You know, if you're out here lifting weights the way that we're lifting, we're maxing out in the week, you're going to need some of these refined carbohydrates, okay? You're going to need that oatmeal. You're going to need that white rice, okay? Let me tell you something. When it gets to nighttime and you had a long-ass day and you're dealing with your kids and your husband and your wife and these folks out here and just dealing with you, you're going to need that ice cream. You're going to need those cookies, okay? So I'm not going to tell you not to eat that. What I'm going to tell you is know when you're supposed to use these. Know when they're going to be advantageous for you. Know when they're going to give you the most benefit and the most bang for your buck. And if you can tie those things in, I think you'll be happy with your results. So next week, Massive Performance is going to be the carbohydrate challenge. What we're going to do is we're going to keep counting our protein. We're going to keep that up, have that protein goal. But now, when we write down our meals, we're going to balance it out. So if you're doing weight loss, I want you to show me on that chart, when am I getting my refined carbs? When am I getting my unrefined carbs, okay? Which foods am I eating that are going to lead to a spike in blood sugar, so maybe I can eat those after a workout or before a workout? Which ones are going to stabilize me and keep me nice and full? They're going to keep me steady. When am I eating those? What time am I eating those, okay? Ladies, guys, athletes, entity that's looking at this, whoever, don't be scared of carbs. Man, breathe them in. Breathe them in. Now, my keto folks, my people out there who are on this carnivore diet kick right now, my people who are out there who are high fat, high protein, I'm not mad at you. We got a couple of videos before we get there because I'm going to explain to my people who aren't on that quite yet what that means and what that looks like. But just for the general population, for the general average, everyday, regular, schmegular, degular person, this is it. Come back to this video. Slide in my DMs. Comment on the video. Don't call me because I'm not going to answer the phone, but text me and I got you. We can talk about this. Don't be afraid of carbs. Use these carbs. Use these carbs the right way. Manage them. Do what you need to do, and let's get your goals, okay? Thank you guys for watching the video. All 15 subscribers. I love you guys. Keep riding with me. All right, let's go. People who haven't subscribed yet, it's okay. Everybody doesn't catch on at first. Jump on board when you're ready. We got plenty of room for you. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Instagram, Massive Performance 22. Also, Lunchbox HQ on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll catch you next time.